A chain is only as strong as its weakest link. This proverb also is wholly apt in describing the correct and effective use of protective clothing. Even if flame-retardant hoods appear to be unimpressive, using them is an enormous advantage for every firefighter. Previously, flame-retardant hoods were worn only to protect from the effects of heat. New investigations, however, have shown that absorption of soot particles and with them dangerous PAHs, polycyclic aromatic hydrocarbons, through the skin must be stopped. This protection can be achieved in the head-neck area by building a particle barrier into the flame-retardant hood. To this end, TEXPORT uses PTFE particle barrier, which achieves a particle protection of 99.99% thanks to the particle barrier seam seal. TEXPORT flame-retardant hoods are characterized by particularly ergonomic cuts with few seams and very high-quality flat seam handwork to avoid pressure marks. This results in an extremely good fit during a firefighting job. The integrated RFID electronic identification system allows for no-contact product identification in order to avoid any contamination with hazardous substances during cleaning. In this specially prepared test setup, 2- and 3-layer TEXPORT flame-retardant hoods were tested for particle permeability of 0.1 to 0.2 micrometer with an off-the-shelf hood. To make this permeability visible, a testing device was developed specially for this test. Smoke is fed into the parallel connected test columns at nearly no pressure. In these individual tests, the integrity of the surface and the seam was tested on 2- and 3-layer hoods. In Test 1 and 2, we compare the material structure of 2-layer particle protection hoods consisting of knit and particle barrier. Test 1. In the first test, we compared the surface between TEXPORT 2-layer and competitor 2-layer. In the 2-layer structure, particulate impermeability was guaranteed on the surface with both TEXPORT and the competitor's hood. Test 2. In the second test, we compared the seams between TEXPORT 2-layer and competitor 2-layer. By sealing the seams with particle barrier in the 2-layer structure, impermeability is assured with TEXPORT. This achieves 99.99% particle protection. In the 2-layer competitor hood, it became clearly evident that the lack of integrity and the weak points close to the seams were visible. In Test 3 and 4, we compare the material structure of 3-layer particle protection hoods consisting of knit, particle barrier, and knit. Test 3. In the third test, we compare the surface between TEXPORT 3-layer and competitor 3-layer. In the 3-layer structure, integrity is assured both with TEXPORT and the competitor hood on the surface. Test 4. In the fourth test, we compare the seams between the TEXPORT 3-layer and competitor 3-layer. Particulate impermeability is assured in TEXPORT by sealing the seams of the particle barrier in the 3-layer structure. In the 3-layer competitor hood, it became clearly evident that the lack of seam integrity and with it the weak point in the proximity of the seams was visible. Result: the seam-sealed finished PTFE particle barriers were tested parallel, whereby the difference between the sealed seams and the non-sealed seams has been made clearly visible. The non-sealed seams in the particle barrier constitutes a weak point in the particle protection. Note: as mentioned in the beginning, a chain is only as strong as its weakest link. For this reason, we compared the surfaces of TEXPORT and the competitor while the particle barrier was not tightly finished over the entire surface in the area shown. TEXPORT assures particulate impermeability thanks to the careful finishing that goes into the entire particle barrier. In the competitor hood, the particle barrier was not given such careful finishing in the area shown. This clearly illustrates insufficient protection. For this reason, TEXPORT insists on full area finishing along with special seam sealing on the particle barrier. TEXPORT has also revolutionized the way flame-retardant hoods are worn. In order to guarantee even better protection, TEXPORT is blazing new trails. A special short hood, which is worn over the closed jacket collar, was developed especially for this purpose. In contrast to conventional flame-retardant hoods, this prevents particles from getting in through any gap between the hood and the jacket collar. In sum, TEXPORT offers optimal protection in keeping with its motto, protecting you.